Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today we're over here moving the cows, the bulls, I mean, not cows, bulls and steers. And they're going into another beautiful field, the big blue stem, Korean Lespedeza. It's got quite a bit of dormant fescue in here, which are probably not going to go after that very much, but they're sure going to enjoy this big blue. Beautiful stuff. And the Lespedeza. See, they're going after it right away. The big blue is what they go to first. Very, very palatable. It doesn't have any toxin in it. Extremely palatable forage. And it's tender, you know. It does have a seed head on it, but it just barely. So it's still all really tender stuff. They're not eating the stalks as much, this part, but they're definitely going after all these leaves down here. They know where the leaves are. They're kind of about a foot up on the plant, and that's where they're going after it. If you look real close at their tongue, the tongue's coming out of the mouth. So this particular paddock, we've been off of it about 60 days. So the warm season grasses, if you give them a longer rest period in the summer, particularly middle part of June, July, and August, you're gonna have some warm seasons. I'm not gonna say you'll have them this thick. I mean, this is just crazy. I love it. I mean, you talk about summer swamp, not having anything to feed your cattle because all you've got is cool season grasses. That's kind of what happens. But you got all this. This is all warm season. Warm season legume, being Korean Lespedeza, and then you got the big blue. There's actually some little blue stem in here too. And every now and then you'll find a little bit of Indian grass. But it's pretty much this. And so they'll be on this for 24 hours, this particular strip. They're on about, they're 60 head, and they're on about, it's probably close to 1.5 acres today, 2 acres. And it'll all be gone. This will all be gone by morning. The Lespedeza, it'll be clipped. They'll be taking some of that off. And folks, we are approaching fall stockpile period. I mean, this is the 8th. Yep, this is the 8th of August. And it's dry, kinda. I mean, we're still getting posts in the ground, but you know, we get into September, it would be really nice if we could catch a couple showers, and that's just gonna let this grass even explode more for winter stockpile. We've got a lot of residual behind us. Oh, look at there. Huh. The yellow flowers, that's the bird's foot trefoil. It's all in here, look at that. I love bird's foot trefoil. There's some more. There's a bunch of it in here. The bird's foot is another legume. It's non-bloating, non-toxic, and it seems to take the summer heat better than clover does. There's summer annuals. A big wide leaf there. Just now putting a little seed head up. I tell you what, it's a wonderful feeling to be able to turn your cattle into something like this, and you don't see nothing's upset, nothing's bawling, there's no bare soil. You got birds, you got butterflies, you got insect life around you. It's a natural deal, you know. Drove over here this morning with the ATV. You know, we didn't expend a lot of fuel to move these animals. Powered by sunlight. That's what's cool about this whole deal. Is when you get some moisture, you gotta have rain. You gotta have some rain. And we are in an area where you cannot irrigate. We just don't have the water impoundments for irrigation. We've got a lot of ponds, but you know, around here, if you draw water out of a pond to irrigate your pasture, you're not gonna have any drinking water for your livestock. And I don't think folks understand how much water it takes to irrigate 1 acre. To put down 1 surface acre inch, it's tens of thousands of gallons of water. And how do you do it? I mean, the infrastructure. It's very, very, very costly. So, you know, if you're out west and you got the Rocky Mountains and the snow melt and all that water is melting and coming down through those valleys, that's a different deal. But here we don't have that. So we have to grow forage with what falls out of the sky on the land, and irrigation is not something that we can do. Now you go 5 miles east here and they're drilling wells out there and they're using drinking water to grow corn. Yep, 1,000 feet deep, and you know, 6-inch diameter wells. And I think the guy said he used, is it 1.3 billion gallons of water on 1 cornfield last year? He had a meter on it. I think it was over a billion gallons of drinking water to grow 1 field of corn. It was a drought year. They didn't get any rain. But he grew a crop that, I don't know, we start using our drinking water to grow corn to feed the livestock and ethanol. I just hope we don't delete the aquifer so, you know, we don't have anything to drink. So, I don't know. I'm just glad that we don't have to irrigate and we still grow grass like this, and it's a good deal. It's good for the environment. It's good for the water cycle. These animals are trampling this on the ground and it's catching rainwater. There's no bare soil out here, and we don't spray anything. Yeah, there's some weeds in here. There's ironweed. There's Queen Anne's lace, those little white ones. You know, there's milkweed in here. Here's my wild soybean plant, the stick tight. You know, there's a black-eyed Susan. Y'all know what a black-eyed Susan is? Right here. It's kind of pretty. There's a goldenrod. There's some goldenrod in here, which is right over here. That's goldenrod. There's bull nettle. This little prickly guy right here. Nothing will eat that. Well, there's a bull nettle fruit. They actually have little bulbs on them. Those will turn yellow in the wintertime. I have seen sheep eat those yellow bulbs in the winter. There's Isaac's steer. He's getting there. He's a 2-year-old. The rest of these are all yearlings. They've really put on weight on this Big Blue. I'm really tickled with the weight gain that we're seeing. The health of the cattle is just through the roof. And we're using the rock skirt up here that Johnny put in for them to drink from, so they're not destroying our pond. I'm gonna walk you up there and show you that. It's working really good. The pond came up so high that we could actually use another, I don't know, maybe 2 foot of rock up onto the bank. So when we put this in, this pond was down about 6 foot. That's how dry it is. We just hadn't had any rain for 2.5 years. Well, then it rained and it filled it up. And the spillway's on the other side. It's right up to the edge of the spillway. But Johnny put this rock in. And so when they walk down here, there's all the rock out there. But the rest of the pond is in pristine shape. It's got some good fish in it. You can see where the water level used to be, clear out there. That's about 5 foot of water now. So I'm gonna try and get me about, I don't know, 4 or 5 grass carp and throw in here. And they'll eat a lot of that. They'll just clean it up like a bunch of hogs. And they get rid of a lot of that surface plants. Make it a little easier to fish too. This is the pond that's got tons of bass and bluegill in it. So we gotta get over here and catch some of them. They're too thick. See, here's our skirt. Hook it on cold, go to that fiberglass rod, over to that one, and then back up. So they can't physically go out there and swim in that pond. They can stand there and get them a drink, and then that's it. And with that, I'm gonna get out of here. You all have a good one. And be seeing some of y'all in Northern Ireland here. We'll be 1st of September, we're headed over to Northern Ireland. I'm doing a conference over there speaking at. It's called Fields Good. And it's the first time in Ireland that they've had this conference. Several other speakers are going to be there. It's going to be a good time. And some of our Ireland viewers, I hope to see some of y'all there. Y'all have a good day. Take care.